Good day, everyone, and welcome to another episode of CyberTalk, where we discuss everything happening online. So, for today's episode, we'll be uncovering one of the dangers in the digital world. I'm your host, Guardo Lister, and joining me today are my co-hosts.
Born J. Arcelo.
I'm Justin Blake Worsted.
I'm Sophia and I am one of the co-hosts for today's podcast. In today's episode, we're going to have a conversational talk about privacy violation. So have you heard about the quote, privacy is power? What people don't know, they can ruin. But what if I tell you that they do know, and that their personal information is being sold or used without their consent? And it's our reality today. And to think that nowadays we rely so much on the internet, so it's really crucial for us to know about these things and to be aware about what's happening into our society.
Yeah, that's very true. So today's topic is one that affects us all. Privacy violations. With such huge amounts of personal data online, we risk dangers such as identity theft, data misuse, and so much more. So guys, I have a question for you. Why is online privacy such an important issue in today's digital age?
It's extremely serious. Identity theft Resource Center discovered over 3,000 data breaches in the US alone in 2024. For our country, the Philippines, Comelec's data were breached in 2016. It exposed the information of 55 million registered Filipino voters. The stolen data included full name, addresses, birth date, and even passport number.
That's very alarming. But what are some of the biggest threats to our personal information online?
One major threat is how companies mishandles user personal information. Have heard about the Cambridge Analytica scandal wherein Facebook shared a user's personal information without their consent, and it was said that it was over 87 millions of users, and then those data was used by Cambridge Analytica to build detailed psychological profile. Then those profiles were then subsequently used to target individuals with customized political ads that shifted the public opinion during that time, and to favor that certain politicians, and even nowadays it happens now. Like what we see on social media, we tend to believe it right away without checking the sources. So it's like a reminder for us to if we see something on social media, we should do our research for. And again, to add up lang, there's also a movie entitled The Great Hack on Netflix, and it tackles about the dark side of the digital world we live in today.
Also, cyber criminals. In 2017, Equifax, one of the largest credit reporting agencies, was hacked, exposing the social security numbers of 147 million Americans. Similarly, in the Philippines, scams involving stolen banking and e-wallet accounts have led to financial fraud cases.
So, it seems like cybercriminals play a big role in privacy violations. But are there other threats people should be aware of?
Yes, there is the case of stalkerware. As the name suggests, stalkerware is a software used to track people without their consent. In 2020, data showed that 53,870 mobile users were affected by stalkerware.
There's a government surveillance. There was a report involving unauthorized cyber attacks on Philippine government databases, specifically the Supreme Court, which potentially exposed sensitive information.
Yeah, we know that privacy violations happen, but what are the consequences?
A major one is financial loss. Due to fraud incidents, victims lost huge amounts of money. For our country, scams involving e-wallet fraud have led to thousands of pesos being stolen.
Yeah, besides financial loss, how do privacy violations affect people emotionally and psychologically?
Yep, that's right. Privacy violation can deeply affect individuals emotionally and psychologically. Study shows that a person's personal information leaked online often experience depression and anxiety. And one example I can give is that what happened, the issue with Maurice Racal and Anthony Jennings, wherein their private conversation was leaked online. And yeah, what they did was wrong, but then again, the people there comments bad stuff about them, and those comments would have a great impact onto their mental health, and it can lead to depression. And not everyone of us has the same mental capacity. So what if that person di niya makaya ang depression, so it would lead to worse situations, and we don't like for that to happen.
Yeah, that's very
So
true.
we should be mindful. On what we comment on social media, and be more sensitive. Because then again, we're just humans.
So another major consequence is the loss of trust. Companies that mishandle data will see their reputation crumble. People will stop using their services, and they will certainly face backlash for failing to protect our information.
So, what can we do to protect ourselves from all of these issues and consequences?
Use strong and unique passwords on each of your accounts. If two-factor authentication is an option, always enable it for extra security measures. Also, be mindful of what you share online. The less information you put out there, the less likely that your data gets exposed.
Yeah, that's very true.
Always know your rights. In the Philippines, we have the Data Privacy Act, which gives people control over their personal data. In connection, digital literacy is also a must. The government should also promote this.
So, speaking of the government, what other actions can they take?
Should enforce stricter data protection laws. This includes consequences for companies that fail to protect user information. Companies should also implement stronger cybersecurity measures. This way, data breaches can be prevented.
We had a very fruitful discussion on the topic, didn't we?
Yeah, we covered a lot of ideas regarding the topic. So hopefully everyone tuning in finds it informative. And always bear in mind to always protect your privacy, kasi then again, your privacy is your power.
Yeah, that's very true. Before we wrap up, do you think that people are aware of the risk of privacy violations, or is there still a lack of digital literacy?
As is increasing, there's still a lot of work to do. Many people don't take cybersecurity seriously until they become victims.
Yeah, that's very true. If there's one key takeaway from today's discussion, it is that privacy violations are a real threat. But if we are well informed, we can protect ourselves from it. So, thank you to my co-host and to everyone tuning in. I'll see you all off next time. Goodbye, everyone.